Hello again, this is Bloodiver13 here with my first ever character analysis. Well, this analysis is going to be over my favorite cat, Hollyleaf. So I'm going to go through over some of her most memorable moments in the book, and I'm always not going to go through every one because, I'm just doing this based off of memory now, and the last time I read the 3rd and 4th series was a month ago. So please don't hate me if I miss over a lot of parts, but this is just going to be a quick memorable for now. And I promise you the next ones will be a lot better, because I'm going to reread the series over the summer. So they will be more based and better, and I might end up redoing this one later on. So anyway, Hollyleaf, in the beginning, as Holly Kit, is already known to seem to be a very self-conscious, into the warrior code kind of cat. When Kit and Like are all about going down hunting the foxes in the beginning, she's like, you better not go, it's against the warrior code, kids are supposed to stay in camp. But they end up convincing her to go anyway. Even the whole time, she's kind of wanting to go back to camp and not really like being out there. And out of all the kids, she's the one who feels the most guilty when they get scolded in camp, and feels she should have stopped Kit because he's hurt. But throughout the series, she also has a very strong sense of right and wrong. I'm pretty sure it's in Dark River, when River Clan is starving because Two Legs have invaded their little river and they're not able to fish. So she goes there and sneaks off to the island where their camp is staying to help them hunt and fend for themselves, because even though it's against the warrior code for her to go out and help them, she feels it's wrong to let another clan starve, because there has to be 4 clans. And if she doesn't help them, or if no cat helps them, they will eventually die out or have to leave. And the warrior code states there's to be 4 clans. So she's kind of doing going against her moral principle and going for what's more right than this right, and justice. And she's also seems to be very smart and incredible hunter, which she probably gets from her grandmother Sandstorm, because it's noted how she's one of the best hunters in the clan. And once again throughout the series, she also seems kind of OCD slightly, when she's with Cinderpaw, and it says how she's going to mostly only focus on hunting and then move on to only focus on fighting. She wants to complete, a task one at a time, like a to-do list type of cat. Which is very strange, and we don't really see much in the Warrior series, which I've found it made her unique, and made me fall in love with her character even more. And whereas a lot of cats found her snotty, kind of snobby, and stuck up, I didn't see that. I just saw a cat who's, more of a goody two-shoes, and just really bound to the warrior code with every breath, which I actually really liked, and I really liked her character. She was an enjoyable read, and she was really interesting. And then moving on to when she's a warrior, she's more into the warrior code than ever. And there's a lot of people ship her with other different cats, which I didn't really see at all, because she seemed so intent on just being the best warrior. And then later, Holly Star, which I think would have been amazing if she made it, but she didn't, sadly. So she ends up being the best one that just tries to do her best to be a warrior. That's all she thinks about. She's not going to think about mates. She does not want to think about having kits. She only wants to be a great warrior for her clan, and then one day be their leader. But all that comes crashing down around her when she finds out she is not the kit of Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight, which is what she's being led to believe, along with Jayfeather and Lionblaze, since she was born. And a lot of people actually started hating her when she kind of snapped and went insane, which really annoys me, because, like I said, Hollyleaf, her whole world is literally the warrior code and being a part of ThunderClan. And that was kind of just shattered to bits. So, not exactly a great thing. And then, so she's going on and on. She kind of wants to ignore, she wants to find out who her parents are, but in other parts she doesn't, because she feels if she finds out who they are, it's going to, probably crush her warrior stuff even more, so she's slightly trying to move on, at least more than Jayfeather was, because Jayfeather was really intent on finding out who his parents were. And then later on, she finds out her actual parents are Leafpool and Crowfeather, a medicine cat and a cat from another clan, which literally destroyed any sense of her. It destroyed who she was. It destroyed the Hollyleaf that was all about the warrior code and all about her clan, because herself was against herself's morals. Her birth was against her own morals. So that kind of drove her to the brink of insanity, as it would anyone. And a lot of people got really confused and mad when she killed Ashfur to keep the secret, only to then later reveal a secret. And I'm going to explain that really quick. And even it explains in the books, but apparently I guess people weren't intrusive enough. When she killed Ashfur, the only thing she knew is that she was not Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight's kiss. She still had no idea that her birth broke the warrior code. So, just like him telling the secret would ruin the lives of Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight, which at the time, Hollyleaf didn't want. She didn't want to ruin anyone's lives whatsoever. She just wanted to be a warrior and serve her clan. And then, the reason she told the gathering when she found out her parents were, is because when she found out how her birth was, she realized her birth broke the warrior code. So she needed to explain that and tell her birth broke the warrior code, because when she killed Ashfur, she didn't know her birth broke the warrior code. But finding out who her parents were, it did. And that is why she had expressed, her birth at that gathering. She felt the need to tell about the cats who broke the warrior code and destroyed everything for her. So I hope that cleared things up a bit, and you're not really mad at her anymore for killing Ashfur than telling. Plus, Ashfur kind of had it coming, but I've already done his rant, so I'm not going to go into it. And then, everyone says she's, evil, but she is not evil. If you've seen my Hollyleaf Good or Evil thing, you know that, so go check that out. I'll put a link into it on whether I personally believe she's good or evil. And then you see Hollyleaf escaping into the tunnels, which a lot of people also hate her for doing, because she felt like she was running away, which she was, but remember, her life was destroyed. She revealed she killed Ashfur. The warrior code is basically nothing to her anymore, and she literally does have no reason to stay. And then the tunnel collapses. She is stuck in there, and everyone presumes her dead back in the clans. But then she meets Fallen Leaves, and he nurses her back to health. And and slowly she becomes friends with him, and she keeps her secrets to herself, throughout the whole book. She feels guilty and terrible for killing Ashfur, and she's trying to fight herself, she regrets telling the secret, and regrets doing all those things to Leafpool and Squirrelflight. But then the other part of her, the part that's still all about the warrior code, insists that she did the right thing. So she's very, complicated right now, and, going against herself, and is having, a battle within her own mind. And until she eventually trusts Fallen Leaves to tell him everything about her past, what she did, and even though he loves her, he tells her she should go check on the clans, which she starts doing. And eventually she starts seeing that she is needed to go back to the clans, because it's where she belongs. And her Fallen Leaves say their goodbyes, even though they're in love, and well, it doesn't show in the book that they're in love unless you read between the lines I tend to do, but the Aaron Hunters stated that they were in love, so moving beyond that. So she loved him, even though she was in love with him, because her place belonged in the clans. Even after everything she did, she knew in her heart it's where she truly belonged, and she needed to right all the wrong she did to her clan. So she goes there and teaches them first, they're about to have a battle with Wind Clan, because Soul is helping Wind Clan because he wants revenge against Thunder Clan. So Hollyleaf teaches them how to fight in the tunnels, since she lived there for a few seasons. And eventually, to the last hope, actually helped her clan majorly in the Dark Forest War, even giving up her own life to save Ivypool, a cat who she's barely known for more than a few moons. And Hawkfrost ends up killing her. And at the very end, the line that got me more than anything is Leafpool crouching over her daughter, apologizing, and saying how she never did anything wrong. And Hollyleaf is like, "It's alright, Leafpool. I'm just glad I was able to come back and get to know my mother," which I have to say is probably one of the most memorable parts of the last book. And I know if you saw my earlier rant, you know I really hated The Last Hope, and I forgot to mention in that one that I hated her death. Absolutely cannot stand her death. I think it was a terrible mistake for them to kill her off again. But the memorable part of her admitting that she forgave Leafpool and that she loved her as her mother was just very moving for me, even though I personally don't believe they had to kill Hollyleaf to get that part in it. But if you're interested, just watch the last Hope rant and whatever. So, in the end, Hollyleaf is a very strong-hearted cat. Her life is bent on following the warrior code. And even though she's made many mistakes along her path, she ended up following her heart and going back and giving her life to help the clan, to help save the clans in the Great Dark Forest War. So, she, in my opinion, is one of the greatest warriors and one of the most amazing cats in the series, and is my personal favorite character, and I absolutely love her. So, this has been the Hollyleaf analysis, and I'll probably do more analysis in the future, once I reread the books especially. So, if you want me to do analysis over a certain cat, just put in the comment, and I'll get to it eventually. So, till then, goodbye.